Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to use some UV DTF or rub-on transfers from Southern Belle glitter to create a beautiful floral tumbler. We're going to mix that with some vinyl from GLAMOUR TRIBE Customs and our glitter from Chase Ray. The whole month of March we're running a giveaway with Southern Belle glitter. So make sure you are part of our Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler art group. If it's past March of 2025, no worries. Go ahead and join our group because we have lots of giveaways all the time. Okay, so we are actually going to use a little bit different. I'm trying to challenge myself and use other tumblers than the 24 and 32 plumps from TIPSY Magnolia. This is a true 22. Look at that. I even have it wrote on the bottom. Isn't that sad? It's a true 22. It can also be a muscle mixer, which it has like a mix drink cup, a shaker top for it. It does come with a little ball that helps mix everything up inside, or a 22-ounce cafe, which comes with a dome lid that's really nice for adding on rhinestones and things like that. So there's lots that you can do with just this tumbler here. But we are going to use it as a true 22 with the regular lid. Here is our beautiful vinyl that we're going to use. It's Gemstone Hearts from GLAMOUR TRIBE. Now, normally I would be worried if this was a pattern that had that was straight, but these hearts are kind of popped all over the place, so it's not going to bother me putting a seam down this and cutting off some of those hearts. We're going to fix that by doing some glitter swirling around the tumbler, and that's where we're going to place our florals. So I'm going to start by trimming off some excess that we are not going to need. So we're going to cut this about right there and trim that off. Top off, and then I'll go ahead and cut off this bottom too. Okay. Now I know that Tipsy does have the exact sizes available on their website if you are looking to cut this on, say, Design Space or in Silhouette. What I don't have my scissors. So that's gonna work. But we're not gonna worry about measuring anything. I'm just gonna pop this straight onto, or cutting anything out. I'm just gonna put it straight onto this tumbler. Now we do want to pay close attention where this overlaps and it's covering those spots. So I will mark, or not mark, it's going to be about right here that we want to cut our vinyl. Squeegee tool, put that under here. Okay. Now, so you can see our vinyl right here where it's almost all the way down to the cup, or to the bottom rim of the cup. Right here is about the point that it's almost down there to that bottom rim. Which I'm not worried about getting extra close because we are going to be painting the bottom. And I'm also going to tape this off. I'm just going to stand this up straight. Pulling this over the edge so it'll sit straight on my table. Just cut right along the edge of our tape. And then we're going to take our heat gun. We can go ahead and remove this piece. And the piece underneath. And then we're going to take our heat gun and apply heat to the top and bottom rims just to flatten that out. We're also going to fix this spot here. I'm going to very carefully lift this up. Light amount of heat. And we're just going to tug it very gently to give it just enough stretch to come all the way, not all the way, but almost all the way down to this rim. Because that is about where our vinyl trimmer is going to cut our vinyl. So this is our vinyl trimmer from KELLBELL Customs. I'm going to push this down and make sure it's on the lowest setting. And then apply pressure, spinning my cup around against the blade. Look at that. We got that perfect. And then just trim off or pull off that excess vinyl. We're going to do the same thing around the top rim. Now it is time to tape off and spray paint the bottom. Now, if you're worried about getting your tape just right, especially with this being a tapered cup, spin it around like this, run it through your vinyl trimmer again. Then I'm just going to take the back of our vinyl and wrap this around, and then I will put a little piece of tape on here as well, and that's going to protect our vinyl from getting any spray paint on here. So I wanted to play off of the blues that is in this vinyl. So I'm going to use Gloss Seaside from Rust-Oleum with Winter Blues from Chase Ray Creations. That's a really good match. And this is also going to be the color that we take around our tumbler. So I'm going to go outside and spray paint the bottom, and then we will be back to add on our glitter. Before our paint dries, we're not worried about the ink showing through. This is one very quick coat. So we're just going to allow that to dry, and then we will add on our glitter. So I forgot that I had just got some glitter in from Chase Ray Creations, and I have this beautiful Lagoon glitter that is a really good match to this. So instead of fighting this chunky glitter on the bottom of our cup, I'm actually going to use Lagoon. And that is going to help us get a really smooth bottom without all of the extra sanding. Yeah, seems like a better idea to me. So we're going to apply using the Southern Belle Glitter Full Adhesive. The reason I'm using this is because, one, it's my favorite type of adhesive for glue fulls, or for glitter fulls, and really anything that you want to put on your cups, of course, except for rhinestones. It dries very quickly with your heat gun. It goes on very smooth, even with a chip brush. And it is extremely tacky. So whenever it does dry, you don't have to put multiple coats of this on here in order for your glitter to stick. So what we will do is apply our full glue. We'll dry it, add on our glitter, and I will spray seal it. But you can do that immediately after adding your glitter because the glue underneath is dry. I will spray seal, add on epoxy, and at that time we will add on our swirl. When you're applying this to the bottom of your cups, make sure that you don't get lots that's kind of pulling in this little crease on the bottom. And if you dab around like this, it really helps with those extra fine glitters to get it nice and smooth. It gives it a little bit of texture. and eliminates any streaking. So it's near dry already. We didn't have to use very much. I'm going to wash off my brush. Just give this a quick little dry. Again, this is Lagoon. I haven't bottled this one just yet. It was sitting over here to the side for my glitter haul video. This is beautiful. The coverage is excellent. Look. Okay, we're just going to knock off that excess, make sure that we have good coverage. We can go ahead and remove our tape. Actually, there we go. I didn't get in that crease really good. So we'll remove our tape, and then I'm going to go outside and spray seal this with my Rust-Oleum matte clear coat. And we're going to come back and add on some epoxy and our glitter swirl. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here. Now first I'm going to go over the vinyl where we're going to add on our glitter. And then I will go over the bottom where our glitter is to go ahead and give that a coat of epoxy as well. I'm just not going to do it all at once because I don't want to chance getting any of that glitter or too much of it and pulling it up onto our vinyl. Since this entire cup is not going to be, or since the entire cup is not going to be covered with glitter, I will take my torch and very lightly go over this just to eliminate any bubbles that may be on here before we begin adding on our glitter. So let's go ahead. Put some on here as well to get that covered up. I should have spray sealed that a little bit more. I only did one coat, but that's okay. Make sure I got that really good. Okay. Go over it with our torch. All right. We've got our winter blues. Now our biggest section is going to be right in here. So we're gonna
So I'm going to start in the middle and spiral this around. I'm just going to go really light because I want to kind of map out where I want my glitter to go. So we have our starting and our stopping point. And then I'll just go heavy in the center, and then we'll just kind of fan that out in the middle. Just doing a very little at a time. How pretty that's looking. Now we're going to go this way. Enough. Maybe let's do a little bit more. I think that looks good, but I'm not certain what floral that we're going to use, but I'm leaning more towards this one here. We might need to make it just a hair wider to put that on there. Actually, I'm just going to leave it as it is because I don't want to cover up any more of our beautiful hearts. Just going to get this glitter off of our rim. So it's even with our vinyl. Okay, so I'm just going to knock off the excess, and then I'm going to sit this to the side and allow it to dry for about 2 to 3 hours. I will then brush off any of the excess glitter, and then I'll go straight in with a coat of epoxy. I'll probably do 2 coats of epoxy, sanding lightly in between those coats, and then we will be back to add on our decals.
Okay, so we've got 2 coats of epoxy on here, and then we are going to add on a floral right in the middle of our swirl. So I'm just going to trim this out. Now these are rub-on transfers. It's been a while since we used these. I'm not going to fold it in half, but I'm going to make little marks at our half point because we want our half point right about in the middle here. That's pretty good right there. Now, if you haven't used a rub-on transfer before, it is very similar to the UV DTFs. Once you put them in place, they're stuck. So you do want to be really careful as you're applying them so that you get them in the correct space. And then you're just going to go over them with either a squeegee, or some of these come with a wooden stick. You can rub them down with that as well. But make sure you get all areas, because when you do lift this transfer sheet up, if it's not stuck all the way down to your cup, then it will lift parts of your transfer up as well. Rub-on transfers can actually be used on lots of different things, very similar to the UV DTFs. You do want to seal these in with something, but you can use them on surfaces like a wooden tray or something like that, and just seal them in with Mod Podge or a wood sealer. You can use them as accents on furniture. Now when you're pulling these off, get a little piece started, you're going to pull out and up. You want some tension on there. If you see any piece that don't completely release, just rub it down. Just hold it taut. So that you get a clean release. Good. We're going to put a small one right here and a small one there. There we go. I was not going to add on a decal to this because I do like it the way that it is, but the longer that I looked at it, the more that I wanted to add a decal. And for me, it's really difficult to find wording to go on Tumbler, so I'm just going to reuse one that we used recently on another Tumbler. But I want to kind of redeem myself on this one a little bit too, because I didn't make the offset large enough on the Tumbler we used it before, so I'm going to try it again. I think it'll look really good on this one with all of our hearts. So this is an image that I made myself, and it will be available in our Google Drive that I'll have listed down below for y'all. I cut a, so this is the original SVG. This is a 0.035 offset, and then this is a 0.05 offset of this one. Okay, so we have 3 different layers here. Now this one is cut on a double-sided adhesive. I will not be listing the brand that I use down below because I'm going to be honest, it sucked. I do 10 out of 10 recommend getting the Dixie Darlings double-sided adhesive from Southern Belle Glitter. 100% better than this stuff right here. I had to cut it 6 times to get a crisp, some crisp edges on here, and it was not at fault of the user or the machine this time. So I got a new Cricut machine. I've been saying it for so long that I needed to get a new one, and I finally did. Well, it's new to me. I just got, what did I get? I got the Cricut Explorer Air 2. I had the Explorer Air original, and seriously, I wanted to go for the newest machine just to have the newest, the biggest, and the best. But you know what? I'm not going to use my Cricut to cut wood or engrave metal or any of those things. So I just decided to get an upgrade from what I already had, and that is just good enough for me. So now every double-sided adhesive is going to be different, but I did cut this on the Vinyl Plus setting to get it to go through the top layer of paper and the double-sided adhesive. I'm going to find my seam right there on the back and stand the cup straight up. I'm going to apply this right here in the middle. Now I do want to be super careful around my rub-on transfers because this can, the transfer tape can pull some of that off. If you haven't used it, or if you haven't layered with your rub-on transfers before, I do recommend putting a layer of epoxy in between it, or at least taking away some of the tackiness of your transfer tape before applying. And I should have done that, but I should be doing more thinking, less talking. I'm just going to be very gentle. Whew. Okay. You rub this down, make sure it's stuck on there really good. And the full that we are going to use is the Hollow Ice Turquoise from Southern Belle Glitter. Look at those colors. So pretty. So you'll want to take this top layer, this paper off. And you do want to apply your double-sided adhesive to a glossy tumbler. Okay. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna put this on here as straight as I can, trying not to get any crinkles in there. And then where is my squeegee? Right in front of my face. I'm not going to scrub this, I'm just going to rub our full down. You don't want to scrub too hard when using the double-sided adhesive. But I do want to see kind of like the indent of our letters in here, just so I know that I have gotten all of the edges. Okay. And then just as you were applying, or as we applied our rub-on transfers, you want to pull this kind of taut as well. Pull it towards you or away from you and release it from the back. Okay, so now that that is on, we are going to add on the other two pieces. And before we do that, we're going to take as much tackiness away from this as possible, so it is not pulling up our folds. Okay. So it's hardly even going to stick to this, but with our little trick of pulling it up this way, it will stick just enough for us to transfer and not pull up our folds. Stand that back up. I like that. So now we do need to seal this in, because that, like I said, the double-sided adhesive, I can still feel some tackiness in there. So I'm going to seal this in and give it 2 coats of epoxy, and it will be done. I'm going to try to make this final video pretty quick. There is a storm coming and it is crazy windy. I love the way that this turned out. I feel like this decal looks much better on this tumbler than it did the other heart peekaboo. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. Don't forget, our huge giveaway is going on with Southern Belle Glitter. You're not going to want to miss that. So for every $25 that you spend at southernbelleglitter.com, you will be entered to win up to $4,500 worth of materials from her shop. She's given away one of everything that she has in stock. So I'm so excited to find out who that winner is at the end of the month. More details will be listed in the Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler art group. So that is all for today. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.